Well, welcome back to a couple conversations with Tafiq and Gingy. Also, no pointing with knives. I don't know. It's culinary. It's communication. I don't know. Anyway, I'm making breakfast and we're doing our morning kind of quote unquote routine, which might be slightly different every morning, but yeah. I mean, it's truth. Like, we have staple things that we do. However, some mornings are a little different. And like this video in particular, we were to record last night, but then made sure to take time for our self-care and just had some much needed rest. And now we are still maintaining our integrity and our commitment to ourselves, each other, and this channel. And we're here getting it done. So it's a little different of a schedule, but still in the flow.
Yeah, I'd like to get to a point where maybe this week we record next week's and the week after. And maybe the week after that.
I like that.
And give us a little bit of a runway. But things have been busy and I'm tired. I'm tired, and I'm not gonna lie. It's been a struggle the last couple of days. I'm just gonna be real. But that being said, this is the outline of today's video. We're trying to get breakfast together. I'm trying to get dishes done. But in the meantime, we had a meeting yesterday, our normal weekly meeting. And we're gonna kind of use that as our outline. Go over some of the things that we discussed, the plans in the future that you guys will be seeing. And then we also want to, at some point, maybe not today, but start talking about the premise, more deeply about the premise of why we're doing what we're doing on this channel. So, to start things off, yesterday, at the top of our list of things that we discussed, we're talking about the dash cams. So we started doing research on dash cams, and interestingly enough, they're not quite as simple to to kind of shop around for. But before yesterday, Gingy, you want to tell them about that amazing email that you put together of just solid information around dash cams and other things?
I can, yes. I was a little bit on a roll with work, or just, workings, and I wanted to take a pause from my external work and reference our purple book with the checklist that we've come to accumulate of things that we want to do with each other, for ourselves as a unit. So I went through that list. I was like, all right, we're talking dash cams, we're talking gun safety, we're talking printer and copier, because we need that for the office. We're talking manifestations for, I personally have a manifestation for us to have a future his and her gaming / working office where we can work parallel or side by side and have our stations. Even if it's like, it has one of those like doors that you can close when you're like, all right, I need some space. But then there was that. There was, hey, I proposed this date for us to have a date together. Calendar update. It's just like a regurgitation of information. And I wanted to put that together so that we stay caught up on the things that we've requested from ourselves and each other within the book, and then it just makes it easier. It's all the information in one place. It keeps it professional, as if you were like, working professionally, but also it takes a lot off of the other person's plate. So my intention there was, hey babe, you don't have to go looking for this information. This is what I've found. So we're making progress, even though we've got a lot going on right now.
Yeah. So it was a very succinct email. It was very nice. And also, even though emails can be very businesslike, whenever we send each other emails, it it's also very personable, and it's like, you know, there's a little bit of love there, but it also has that email-esque business.
Which is fun.
It is kind of fun.
I was like, I'm gonna put every category in bold so you know where to go when you find it. But also, I'm gonna be like, hey, baby, you know, we were talking about this, da da da. And then, of course, like, I love you at the end. And
Yeah.
I finished off talking about a date. So it's like, you wouldn't send that to, like, I don't know, if you were in a corporate job, you wouldn't be sending those emails. But it's like,
I mean, some people might send those types of
ooh,
emails. But
that's
anyway,
not my business.
So she sent a very, very nice outlined email about, you know, really summarizing a lot of the things that are in our purple book that we need to get done. The things that we're highlighting today are the dash cam shopping around, which we started doing some research in. And it's not all that easy. A lot of the dash cams are pretty much really bad. And yeah, please. They're pretty bad. And we'll link a review video of a bunch of dash cams that Gingy sent me in the description below. Maybe even link it onto this video here somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, so you know, if you remember last week, Gingy's mom's car got broken into, which kind of prompted us to kind of press the gas on getting dash cams installed. But then I also learned from the videos that there's apparently people will break into your car to steal the dash cam. So I'm like, wait,
What?
now do I even want a dash cam?
I'd
But
say we
then-
want it to be discreet. Like, they don't know it's there, and I caught you on camera trying to get it, or trying to say I hit your car when you hit my, you know, because I've been in a situation like that. So that's what I'm thinking.
So there's a flaw in the dash cam system then, because then if you think about it, say for instance the dash cam is discreet or isn't as discreet, but then somebody breaks into your car anyway, and they know all they have to do is just rip out your dash cam, and then you have no proof that they did anything, because all the files are stored onto the dash cam, as opposed to it going to an app, or which some of them do. Some of them have Wi-Fi, but those are the pricier ones. But a majority of them, they don't have that. They have internal storage that you have to take out via micro SD card or connect it to your computer via USB and actually pull the footage off. So I don't know, big flaw. I thought the dash cam industry, or that, like, it would have been more advanced than it is now, but it's not. It's actually really bad. But anyway, you guys can learn more if you guys wanted to go get some dash cams. The second thing we were talking about that's big on the list is gun safety. So we're looking at researching some classes here in the Seattle/Bellevue, King County area. And we want to take a gun safety class, and then we want to also take like a shooting course. And I think it might be fun to reach out to one of these gun ranges and see if they'd like us to kind of record and review, you know, maybe make it a little collaborative thing and see how that goes, you know what I mean? Make some money on the side, I don't know. But yeah, so those are the plans. Those are the two things that I wanted to kind of go over. And then later on at the end of the video, we're gonna maybe eat and do some affirmations while we're eating. Is that what
It's
we're
like
doing, Gingy?
it's like an affirmation mukbang ASMR. That's a whole lot. I'm down though. Yeah. I think that, yeah, we've progressed on a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff in the works, and I think it's gonna be good. That sounds like a plan to me. Boom, 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 dominoes kinda hot. Presentation is not so perfect today, but it's gonna be good. I'm gonna try my tea. Mine's not in loose leaf because it's maca root chocolate.
Thank you.
Of course.
That was kind of interesting.
Yes.
I even when I'm out and about having food with other people, I still do a little, thankful prayer.
I like that. I think
I can feel people like looking at me when I do it.
yeah.
They're like, "What are you doing over there?" But
Yeah.
they know what I'm doing. But what were you gonna say?
For me, I think that like I noticed that and I appreciate it because I want to do it as well. I don't always like the looks, so sometimes I just close my eyes briefly and do it very discreetly because it is private, personal, or I just say it while my eyes are open, or like but I take a pause when people don't know, but I'm like, and then I go. And people are like, oh wow, or they're not like that, but they just continue to act normal. So I'm like, but I appreciate that you do it, and you're like, I really don't care.
Before we got together, did you do it?
I mean, when I was born, I would go to a Christian church with my mom for a while. She was raised Catholic. As I grew up, I did experience some, traumas around the church and traditional religion. But then my mom, was actually, she studied it in a holistic way. And I think that helped me connect to my spirituality rather than, oh, I'm this specific religion. Because I don't consider myself religious, I consider myself spiritual. But I do pray and I give thanks in a different way, or a way that works for me. And yeah, I'd be in bed at night, depending on circumstance, just like, yo, God, whoever you are, please, ancestors, somebody, listen to me, help me, or, thank you for this, or whatever, So definitely had a roller coaster when it came to that stuff. But now I'm feeling strong and confident in it, so I like the way that we do it now. It's comfortable. I think it's natural to me. I go and talk to my ancestors pretty much all day. I'll be in the car like, I just want to thank you, like talking audibly. I just want to thank you for this. Like, honestly, y'all really came in clutch.
I would only imagine that you talk audibly. You do nothing but talk audibly to yourself or to someone else that's not in the room. To something else that may or may not be in the room all day.
All day. I didn't cooking show right now.
Is that what you call it, doing your cooking show?
Because I'm like, hey guys, what we're going to do next is da-da-da. And, in my head, I'm talking to the audience and teaching them something about cooking or just having fun. Sometimes it's fun. Like, I know nobody's there, but I'm also like, this is really fun. But to answer your question directly, in some ways, yes and no. The practice has developed as we've gotten together and become more comfortable. I appreciate your openness and willingness to accept the way that we both share spirituality in the space, the differences, the similarities. And yes, I did do quite a few giving thanks activities before. Definitely in the car, driving somewhere. Because then I'm like, I don't give a fuck what somebody's... Oh. I don't care what
I gotta go into the video
I'm
and
sorry.
edit that out.
I'm speaking naturally.
At least it was you this time and it wasn't me.
I don't give a care. I don't care. What?
Give a care. I like that. I don't give a care. Punk ass. I don't give a care.
I don't care what somebody thinks about me when I'm driving in my car, jamming out, doing whatever. They can be like, oh, But I'm, having a conversation I'm like, y'all really, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for, you know. And I think there's energy behind that too, saying it out loud versus saying it in your head, but also saying it in your head and doing that action is powerful as well, I think. So, yes and no, and thank you. I think my mom likes it. We were at brunch for Mother's Day, and we both just did it at the same time. And her and Farhad were like, oh, wow.
They saw us. Did they?
Isn't that pretty good?
Damn, I ate twice as fast as you? Or were you talking twice as much?
I was talking. You asked me a question, and I answered it
That's
thoroughly.
true. Because I killed those.
How about you?
How about me with what?
The prayer.
Growing up, practicing Islam, it was always, you know, a thanks that you would give before you would eat. And then over the years, I kind of like stepped away from that, and then I almost like forgot to do that. And then as I've gotten older, I've realized how important it is to take moments to give thanks and to appreciate, because just as easily as it may seem that we could go over there to the stove and cook up breakfast, it's like some people don't have that at all. And it's not even some, it's like a lot of people. Like a lot of people on this planet don't have that. So as I got older and realized the level of blessings. What you giving that to me for?
Do you want it?
No. Yeah. The level of blessings that I've been given, I'm like, no, I gotta take time to give thanks, because just because I have this ability to go walk over to the refrigerator and get something to eat now, that does not mean that I'll have it tomorrow. So let me sit in some moment of silence, moment of remembrance, and provide thanks. And it definitely increased in terms of frequency and intention, not just frequency, but intention, when we got together, because then there was more to give thanks about, because it wasn't just like, oh, I'm giving thanks to the food for being here and satiating me, but I'm also giving thanks to the person who prepared the food, or the person that I'm sharing the food with, whether I prepared it or not. And then all the things that come with it, right? There's love, safety, security, right? And I always give thanks to that. I start off and I'm like, thank you for the love, safety, and security. Thank you for the food. Thank you for Gingy. Thank you for this moment in time that we get to spend. It's like, I don't know, I've gone through like there's like checkbox. There's like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things that I give thanks for, and I'm done in like 10 seconds. So, well, it's definitely been a practice that I was raised into, went away from, and then came back to full circle, and even in a lot of ways more intentional than it ever was before. So.
Similar origin stories.
Similar origin stories. Those are our origin stories. I mentioned earlier, wanting to speak more so to the premise of what this channel is really about, and amongst all the stuff that we talk about, it can get lost. I'm not gonna lie, I have to go back and really think about it. But goal number 1 is to get to 10 videos, regardless of what it is that they are. And I think we might have forgotten that. But goal number 1 is to get to 10, right? It's to post 10, regardless of quality, regardless of all of it. It's just to get to 10. And this will be number 4. I don't know how I'm going to get this video edited and put together by tomorrow. Obviously, we're shooting this the day before. but I don't know. but it's gonna work out some way, shape, or form. And so the goal number one is to get to 10. Then once we get to 10, I think we'll have more of a feeling of where we're going with it. But the overall premise is, how do we rebuild, or how do we construct, how do we intentionally build the what it means to be a family unit, what it means to be a community unit. It's like, what are the questions that we need to ask in order to do that?
Yeah.
All the questions, right? So it's a channel of questions, and then with those questions, there's actionable actions behind it. One of the things that we've implemented are these weekly meetings, right? It's like, if we're building a life, to me, that's like, that's the highest business of the business. That's the highest exchange of the exchange. So, and in doing so, along those lines of week 13, having our personal meetings, we came full circle talking about dash cams. It's like, all right, so if we have conversations around getting things as small as or as big as dash cams, and then doing our gun safety training, and then actually training for it, and then getting, so we're protecting the investment of each other in that sense. We're becoming more secure in our abilities to protect one another, because in this world it is about survival, right? And then in addition to that, it's not just the security measures, but it's also, hey, are we taking a moment to affirm one another? Are we taking a moment to affirm where it is that we're going? And that's all encompassing. So, again, I'll reiterate, we ain't got the answers, but we asking questions and we're taking actions, and we'll figure out answers along the way. That's the whole premise of what it is that we're doing here.
Well said.
Thanks. I went on a little bit of a tangent, but I appreciate you for being patient and listening.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
My feet.
No free feet pics. A couple conversations.
Between a couple of people, for a couple of people. It's true. It's what it is.
It is what it is.
I've noticed that people, when I tell them about the YouTube, and I'm like, it's a couple conversations. Me and my partner Gingy, me and my girl Gingy. I'm like, oh wow, that's so cute. And it's like, I'm like, yeah, while it's cute, it's not, the couple in the title is not because we're a couple. It's like, that's not what it's about. It's a couple, literally, like a couple. A few. She said it's awesome, but it's a double entendre, I guess, in that sense. But it's a couple of conversations. Like, we're literally having a few conversations between a few people for a few people.
A few is 3, a couple is 2. So the double entendre comes from, it's a couple having a couple conversation. We are having more than 2 conversations. However, couple, 2, the 2 of us having conversations for a couple or few, a plethora of people. There are a couple conversations. It's a couple having conversations for a couple people. Couple.
You just confused the hell out of me.
Really? So it's a couple.
Does a couple actually have?
Couple means 2.
Does it actually mean 2? Because
and
if I said
means 3,
because if I said in a couple of years, I don't think that necessarily entails the number 2.
But grammatically, I think people aren't understanding, because you say, 1, a couple is 2, a few is 3 or more, and then after.
Then where does a few become a plethora?
Probably 5.
That's not even, I don't think there's an associated number.
I think there is, because I learned, let me see.
I can see few being more
A
than three,
couple.
but I don't think a couple just has to be two.
A
Because then that
couple,
kind
no
of,
definition. Oxford Dictionary, a couple, noun, two individuals of the same sort considered together. Or two people who, second definition, two people who are married, engaged, or otherwise closely associated romantically or sexually. Verb, combine. A couple, the first definition, most common, two individuals.
yeah, that's a couple, but
No, but
I'm not talking about
couple.
in regards to a relationship.
No, but couple means two. Few,
No. Hold on. You have to go back to
here,
couple.
few versus couple. A couple is used to refer to two things, but is often used for a small number greater than two, which is true. However, a few is used in the same way a couple is used, but also for a number slightly greater than a couple. So, few is typically three or more.
Okay, sure. But again, a couple,
But I think grammatically people don't process the actual definition and they're just using it. So for me, that's why I got really excited initially, because you're like a couple conversations. This is double entendre because it's two people who happen to also be a couple. So two couple grammatically means two, and then it's a couple, two people in a romantic relationship. So sets of two. And we're having a couple conversations, which in that case, you're using couple in three different ways, in a few ways. You're using couple in a few ways because you're using couple to mean more than two. You're using couple as its intended definition, two, and you're using couple as it's a couple.
well, I'm glad we got that straightened out.
What do you think? Is a couple two?
Yeah, let us know.
And is a few three or more? Or what do you think?
Yeah, let us know what y'all think. I mean, ultimately, y'all are going to tell us at the end of the day what this channel is really about, just based off of the questions, comments. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to generate stuff based off of just the questions and comments, but your questions and comments will tell us what it is that we're doing on top of what it is that we feel we're doing. Right? So cause, effect, cause, we say something, effect, you say something, and then that affects the way that we create the next thing. Maybe.
I think yes.
All right, we're supposed to finish this off with some affirmations.
We're not supposed to do anything. We want to.
Oh.
No, but yes, you said it. We are supposed to because we intended to.
This episode was intended to be like affirmations. We're gonna have like a little backlit with the fireplace, and we're just gonna have a video of affirmations and see how long we can go without repeating the same affirmation. But last night it's just been a hard couple of days, and I was just crashing, and yeah, it was just not a conducive time for me. I couldn't rally. It was like couldn't rally. I was just laying there on the floor, just watching the time go by. Gingy and I were having a conversation. During the conversation, I was just laying there. So, yeah, we just decided to go to bed. Now we're waking up under a time crunch to get this video going, and we're like, hey, we kind of changed it up. So let's make breakfast. Let's talk about a couple things from the Purple Book, because we want to keep that kind of in rotation. We want to hit that nail home that it's important to have these meetings and intentions between yourself and between whoever else it is that you might be growing a life with. But we still wanted to do some affirmations.
And I think that we pivoted well.
Yeah. You want to start?
I value your integrity.
Value my integrity. I value your patience.
I like the way your mind works.
I appreciate the many different ways you express love.
This is fun. I like this. Your consistency is reassuring.
Your counsel is comforting. Don't thank me. Just hit me with the next one.
Okay. You are firm and assertive in a very graceful way.
Graceful way. When I eat the food that you make, I can taste the love. It's like a little ingredient that you just like sprinkle on top. It's all in the presentation.
Even when I try to be grumpy, when you check on me, I cannot help but smile and kind of just let all my guards down. Like, you're not supposed to be smiling, you're mad. No, I'm not bad.
You consistently remind me how powerful women are.
It means a tremendous amount to me how present you are, not only in my life, but in my brother's life.
It's admirable how willing you are to bridge gaps. If the vibes are off, you're always the first one to extend the olive branch.
I appreciate that you accept how in touch with my emotions that I am.
You're very kind-hearted, almost to a fault.
You keep me warm at night. It's true.
Oh. That is true. I like that with all of my crazy ideas. You don't just assume they're crazy. You're willing to listen and hear them out. And even take some of them on.
A lot of them make a lot of sense.
Glad. Sometimes I feel like I'm crazy.
We're all a little mad here.
Just a little bit. That's one hell of an affirmation.
Hey, I think that... Here, let me not get sidetracked. I was going to say something
Affirmation.
odd one, but I love the way you smell.
Mm,
You know this.
I do. I do. I like that you make that same face since you were a baby. She'd be like,
I like that we share sweatshirts and sweatpants.
oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah, that's true. I'm actually wearing your sweatpants right now.
They're really comfy.
They are pretty comfy. Very airy. I'm very excited about our future. I think that's a good spot to stop.
I have more things to say.
You got more things?
Oh, I was gonna say I really appreciate your willingness and desire to talk about our future and to plan and be intentional about what we're doing.
Same. Very much the same. I second that.
If you want to stop the video, you can, and I'll still tell you the things that I'm thinking.
Yeah, let's close it out. Y'all are getting the raw stuff, the real raw stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do this.
Peace. Affirmation, obvious. I love you.
I love you too.